In the near future, Earth faces a mysterious and terrifying threat. The sun, the source of all life on Earth, is losing its brightness. Slowly but surely, solar output is diminishing, and with it, global temperatures begin to drop. Scientists are alarmed. If this continues, Earth will plunge into a new ice age. Crops will fail, ecosystems will collapse, and the survival of humanity itself will be at risk. This isn't just climate change, it's something far worse. After global research and collaboration, scientists discover the cause, a microscopic organism traveling through space, nicknamed Astrophage. These organisms are absorbing solar energy and converting it into propulsion. They're feeding on stars, and they've already infected our sun. But there's one anomaly. Tau Ceti, a star about 12 light-years away, isn't dimming. Somehow, it's resisting the astrophage infection. The world unites around a final, desperate plan. Send a spacecraft to Tau Ceti to discover why it's unaffected and bring back a solution to save the Sun and Earth. This mission is codenamed Project Hail Mary, a last-ditch effort, just like the football play it's named after. Ryland Grace wakes up. The story begins not on Earth, but in space. A man awakens in a sterile medical bed, connected to wires and machines. He's alone. The room feels like part of a spacecraft, but he doesn't know his name, his mission, or even where he is. Amnesia clouds his mind. All he knows is that 2 other bodies lie dead in beds nearby. His heart races. Who is he? What is this place? Slowly, over time, memories begin to return. His name is Ryland Grace, a former molecular biologist and junior high science teacher. He never wanted to be an astronaut. He wasn't trained for this. But as he remembers more, the horrifying truth begins to emerge. He was chosen for this mission not because he wanted to go, but because he was the only one who could. Flashback to Earth. The mission begins. As the crisis on Earth intensified, scientists searched desperately for a solution. Ryland Grace, who had once published controversial work on life without water, was pulled back into the world of science by Eva Stratt, the hard-nosed director given total authority to lead the mission. Stratt recruits scientists, commandeers resources, and builds a ship called the Hail Mary, designed to travel to Tau Ceti. Originally, a full crew was intended to go, but due to complications, Ryland ends up being the only surviving astronaut when the ship arrives. Alone in space, the mystery of Tau Ceti. Now alone aboard the Hail Mary, Grace begins to conduct experiments. He analyzes astrophage samples and compares them to what he sees in the Tau Ceti system. His scientific knowledge slowly returns, and he makes breakthrough after breakthrough. But then, something incredible happens. He's not alone. A second spacecraft enters the system. It's clearly not human-made. Grace soon comes face to face with an alien being from a planet also infected by astrophage. The alien, whom he names Rocky, is from the planet Erid. Rocky species, the Iridians, are radically different, ammonia-based, living in extreme pressure, but just like humans, they are intelligent and desperate to save their home. Despite their differences, Grace and Rocky form an alliance, working together across language, biology, and physics barriers. They exchange data, test samples, and build a true friendship. It's one of the most moving and hopeful parts of the story. 2 civilizations from across the galaxy, united in science and survival.
Eventually, they make a game-changing discovery. In Tau Ceti, a predator microbe is feeding on astrophage. Grace names it Taumoeba. This natural enemy is what's protecting Tau Ceti from the dimming. But the organism is fragile and dies when moved to Earth-like or Erid-like environments. Grace begins genetically engineering the Taumoeba to survive in solar conditions and on Earth. After countless trials and failures, he finally succeeds. Now the mission is clear. Return to Earth with this modified Taumoeba and stop the extinction of mankind. As he prepares to return, Rocky discovers that his own ship's engines are failing. Without help, he'll die, stranded in space. Ryland is faced with an impossible choice: return to Earth as the savior of humanity, or risk everything to save the alien friend who helped him succeed. He chooses friendship. Grace sacrifices his return trip, using his fuel and resources to save Rocky. Together, they make it to Erid, where Grace is welcomed as a hero and lives out his days, far from Earth, but alive, and knowing he made the right choice. Meanwhile, Earth receives the Taumoeba samples he sent earlier and begins fighting back the astrophage, saving humanity. Ryland Grace began as a reluctant scientist, a teacher who never wanted to leave his classroom. But in the end, he became the only hope for Earth and a bridge between worlds. His journey is one of courage, curiosity, sacrifice, and the power of science to unite even the most distant of beings. Project Hail Mary isn't just a sci-fi story. It's a masterpiece of problem-solving, survival, and interstellar friendship. It asks one big question: what would you risk to save your species? And what would you risk to save your friend?